Good evening. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. We are going to be going over quite a bit of information and different ways that that I share the products in business and Heather as well. And we're hoping that to give you some ideas and different ways, and you're going to find different things that maybe you feel more comfortable doing. And I'm hoping that'll give you a better overview and a comfort level on all the different ways that we share the Neolife products and the business opportunities. So I want to thank Heather for joining us this evening. Heather.
Okay. Yes. All right. I'm already unmuted. So I'm just going to kick things off here with how we start. I mean, how do we share anything? It all starts with a conversation. So we put that, right here on the first slide, conversations, and it's just a normal conversation. And really what we're listening for in the conversation is, remember, we offer solutions. So we need to know if there's any solution that's needed or wanted. So you want to be listening for a need or a challenge that a person has, or even a want. I think back to myself. What did I need? I was looking for something for energy and to help me manage stress. However, I also wanted to leave my teaching position and move full-time to the lake. Lynn didn't even know that, but there was a want there in the background. So it's important that we share everything that we have to offer. And we can't just jump in and say, oh, I can fix that for you. I can do that. No, we need to have a conversation, build some trust, build some relationship, and then find out if the person is open to taking a look at either a product or at what we offer in terms of a financial opportunity. So that's how it starts. Remember that. It's just a normal conversation, and we're listening to see if we can be of service, and then we go from there. So we're going to share some of the ways we share and the tools, the specific tools that you have available to you for sharing products and the business opportunity. So I'm going to turn this back over to Nada.
Excellent. I just want to make sure everybody can see the slides okay?
Yes.
Just give me a thumbs up.
I can't.
Who can't?
I can't. Which slide are you looking at?
I'm on it's a product, sharing product and business.
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
Good.
Oh, hang
okay,
on.
good.
My door.
Excellent. Okay, good. Just want to make sure. Awesome. Okay. So the first way that I use, and I know Heather, you do this a lot, is the simple way is to use a product catalog and doing one-on-ones, meeting people in cafes. I meet people sometimes right after the gym, or even at my home. I'll put a pot of tea on and I'll invite somebody and just sit down and go through the pages. And Heather, how are you finding using this as a tool?
It is. It's very simple. It's something you can carry in your bag. And, the conversation obviously leads to a point where you might say, hey, you know what, I can show you right here. There's something we've been talking about. And, I won't go through the whole thing, but we'll take a look at the first few pages and you'll get an idea of what we offer and how this company is different and why I've been with them for 25 years.
Mm-hmm. And I find that we use maybe the first 4 or 5 pages of the catalog. And I find that a lot of times when I'm going through a presentation, what's nice is you can just read and highlight some of the parts that you like to talk about, and you can use your own words. You might just read initially in the beginning, but eventually when you use this tool a few times, it'll come naturally, and you'll be able to just pick certain words and certain sentences from what they've typed out in the booklet and simplify it. So you will get more comfortable, but there's nothing wrong with reading and pointing in the beginning, because the pictures are quite nice and very clear. Many times when I'm done, and whether they've registered as a member or a promoter, many of times they say, oh, can I take this home? I'd love to show my husband. So I always have 4 or 5 copies in my little briefcase. So don't be afraid to let it go if they ask you, because that means they really, really like the tool. And hey, if it means reviewing what you've done with them and sharing it with somebody, that's just a bonus. Excellent. So the next one, inviting to take a look. So other tools. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Heather.
Am I going to do this one or not?
Yeah, you go for it.
Okay, so we have another way that we share product and the opportunity is to simply invite them. So we want to get really good at inviting them to take a look. And this comes from the initial conversation. Say, you know, I just did today, actually, I was picking up my grandson from daycare, and the lady who gives the daycare is kind of interested. I've given her a couple of samples, and I said, you know, I know it's really busy time with kids getting them to bed around 8 o'clock, whatever, but we do have a Zoom call. So if you have some time and if you can free up a half an hour, you know, join us on the Zoom. I'll send you the link so you'll have it. You know, maybe you can join us, but we'll get together afterwards anyway. So there's the Discover More, the corporate Discover More at 9 o'clock on Tuesdays. We have our Health and Wealth Solutions, which is right there in the second line. That's what Nada and her team have developed. And it basically follows the same format. It's about a half an hour. It covers the products and the business opportunity, just a glimpse for people to get an idea of who we are, why we do what we do, and how we're different. So these are really good things to invite people to fairly early on, you know, in the process. And this is a process. So it's not just sometimes, right, that first time, yes, somebody's ready and they'll sign up and they'll be a promoter or a customer member right away. Other times it's a process. So they gradually see a little bit more each time, learn a little bit more each time, hear a little bit more each time, and see others like us who are in the community and make their own decision. Nada.
And, you know, when you're looking at the three-way calling, that is, I think, one of my favorites. You know, we can invite people to a group event to Discover More. We can invite them to, you know, the Health and Wealth Solutions, and they're following along and listening and you know, with a slide. But I find that when you're introducing a brand new person, it's as Heather said, it's building that relationship and connecting and having that conversation. I feel sometimes having that conversation again over a video chat I've had great success with that. And I do that a lot with a few of my promoters that know that they can reach out to me and say, hey, Nat, I've got somebody that's interested in taking a look at whether it be the product or whether it be the business opportunity and income opportunity. We do a three-way chat where we can see each other. I really feel that the visual, the facial expressions, the smiles, you know, when they ask questions, and it's funny how the feeling does come through that screen. I'm going to give you an example. Hi, Heather. How are you today? I hope you had a great day. Heather, I thank you so much for joining me this evening. I'm so excited to share a little bit about what I know. I mean, I've been with this company for over 35 years, and impacting people's lives is something that I'm very passionate about. And, you know, and even early on in my Neolife business, I didn't really know a lot about the product. I didn't know a lot about the income opportunity, but I was really excited to share because the impact the products had made on my family, especially my mom. So do you see the difference? When you're communicating, you can actually feel that I'm excited, even though I'm not physically there with you. So I would highly encourage you to reach out to your upline directors or upline world team, and don't be afraid to ask us. And I sometimes feel that sometimes some of the younger moms that are home with kids and they're busy and they don't have time to carve out 30 minutes in the evening, but in the middle of the day when their kids are napping, or, you know, right after dinner or before dinner, they can squeeze in, you know, a 15-20 minute call. It's been amazing. So the three-way calls have been very, very helpful. Anything to add, Heather?
No, I think that's really important. It's something that I need to start using more. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, the last point on the screen is invite from your current list, invite to Impact Summit. So I started thinking about, ways that we increase our business. We increase our business through additional members, customers. We increase our business exponentially when we add promoters. But if you're like me, I have quite a number of promoters who, they use the product regularly, or they don't. It could be that they've just kind of dropped off as well. This happens in our business. And, I thought some of these people haven't actually seen the big picture. They don't know about the changes. They haven't felt the changes in the community that we have now. And so I'm going to be going back and looking at people in my list who may already be customers or promoters, and invite them to Impact Summit. I mean, really, if you've been to Impact Summit the last 2 years, you know that it's amazing. There's been many changes, I think really great changes, and they may have been to a previous summit or convention. It is different now, and different people, different leadership, and I want to invite them just to say, hey, would you like to come to Vegas? I mean, really, it's going to be fun. And the Impact Summit is great. You'll see the big picture. The community is great. It really feel the leadership. And we usually have a new product, and they're absolutely awesome. So I'm going to be inviting to Impact Summit to reawaken in some of the people who are using the products that there's actually more. There's more available. And so, the more I talk about it, I get excited about it. Like, we have so much available. And I want to reach out and remind people and give them the choice, give them the opportunity to say yes again.
Absolutely. And I feel you actually, when you shared that with me today, I got really excited. I thought, darn right. I said, who doesn't like to go to Vegas? And for that amazing price at a beautiful resort, and it's how you invite. So don't be afraid to get excited and say, look, I know you haven't been, really involved in the business for some time, or if they had been in the past, say, I'd love for you to come and just check it out again. And hey, we're going to have so much fun in Vegas. You should just come and join us. So yeah, just a great way to reintroduce some of our older club members, and maybe, like I said, like you were saying, Heather, some of our promoters that have been kind of not really actively building their business. So absolutely, because people are at different stages in their life and things happen, and you never know, they might just be ready this time. Excellent. Thank you, Heather.
Okay, so now we're going to actually look at, specific things about sharing the product. Remember, we have a great sampling program. We have the Elevate, which people are just loving. Actually, the person I was talking today, providing daycare a couple of days ago, I gave her some, before the weekend, I gave her a sample of Elevate, and her kids changed it where it was and she couldn't find it, but then she found it today. I said, so did you try it? And she said, yes, I was really surprised at how great it tasted. And I said, oh, you were surprised? And she said, yeah, like for an energy drink, because, I've tried some and they just, I just can't drink them. And I said, oh yeah, well, this is great, isn't it? So, the sampling is great. Whether it's the Elevate, we can do the Upbeat, different type of product altogether. And then the spa nights. Remember, we do have a wonderful organic skincare line, Nutrients, and spa evenings, spa afternoons. Having people try that product is really, really important. And then what we call them sip and learns, or shake parties, or whatever you want to call them, have some more shake parties. So this is really where you start with the product focus. And yet in each one of these, we are going to be talking about the business. If you have a great product, of course, there's business opportunity there. So each one of these, even though we're saying it's sharing the product, that's the starting point. And, a lot of people are looking for something, just like I was, something in the background, if it's good enough, if I like it, if it works, maybe I could make some extra money by getting involved in this. So there's 3 ways right there.
And the open houses and vendor booths and events are another way that I'm very active. I've been doing quite a few over the last few months, which has been a lot of fun. You know, I recommend light snacks, not going overboard and making it duplicatable. So maybe like a fruit tray or a veggie tray, like something really, really simple, because we are sampling protein shakes, and sometimes I'll make my protein balls, and, you know, but again, keep it simple. And I usually have two different times sometimes, like a morning session and afternoon session is always good, especially if you're taking the time out of your Saturday or a Sunday or a Friday night. You can have a drop-in night and have an open house and just have people drop in and sample your products and have different stations set up. That's right, I do skincare demos as well. So it's kind of like a blend of a spa night with smoothie sampling. So, and especially the Elevate. So it's been a real hit. So highly recommend that. And then, you know, a lot of your towns and cities have events going on where they have vendor opportunities where you can set up a booth and again, just share what you do. So highly recommend, see what's going on in your community, even like a craft fair, craft shows, health shows. There's so many things going on. You need to sometimes look ahead for the year and just see what's going on in your area, and highly recommend that. And when Heather was talking about the sampling, something that some of you have seen my postcards, I did have a bunch of them made for the Elevate and for the Upbeat. And I have to say, it's been a great tool for sharing the product. I did put my picture on there because sometimes if you give something away and they forget, where they got it, or I think they can put a face to the story. So I would highly recommend getting a tool like that made up, where you can staple just one Elevate to that card. And when you're giving away a sample, they have that card to take away. They've got your information, but make sure you always get their information. You don't just give the card or give the sample without getting their cell phone, their email, everything, because it's really important that you don't just give stuff away, because it's important that you have their information to do the follow-up. Okay, so that's really important as well. So yeah, those are other ways of sharing the product and the income opportunity, because even at the open houses and the vendor booths and events, it's an opening, as Heather is saying. You're building that relationship, they're falling in love with the product, and you're always sharing the business as well. So that's kind of a two-way street when you're doing these events.
Okay, so when we have a conversation, sometimes you just want to give them a very quick glimpse. I think of the question, well, what's Neolife, or what do I do in my business? What's that all about? What's your business about? If somebody asks you that, what's your business about? But you only have a very short meeting time together. There is this little short video that I forget about from time to time, so I'm just going to remind everybody about it, and I'm going to show you where to find it. We know that our Team Neolife app will be phasing out, so I want to make sure that you know that these resources are available. I'm going to stop Nada's screen. I'm going to go to mine, and here. Okay, so this is your back office, and in resources, go to resource library. And down the bottom here, I have to move this to the side so I can get my scroll bar. Okay, down the left here, it says videos. And then we have different types of videos, and there's business videos here. So I'm going to click on business videos, and we have a list here of videos. Up at the very top, it says Neolife Business Opportunity. It's a very short video. I'm going to click on that. That's not what I want.
I chose Wix for my business because of its massive scope for functionality and freedom of.
There we go.
There you go.
So that's get that here. I like that one because it very quickly shows the 3 product lines. It positions us in the marketplace. It shows what kind of support that there is and a range of income opportunity. So it's very quick, but it really to me, it gives a really one of the best overviews of who we are, what we do, and the mission is right up there. It's not a mission to make everybody a millionaire. It's a mission to make the world a healthier and happier place. And so, you know, people can identify with that. If it speaks to them, then we can take them to the next step. And Nata's going to share her screen and show you what that might be.
So, Heather, were you going to show though how to click on the link later to share the share?
Share, right?
Do that?
Okay.
I'll stop sharing. You go ahead because I think that's important.
Okay. Right, I forgot about that part. So one thing we were going to do is actually show how to share a YouTube video that very quickly in an email. Share. Okay, and right. Sorry about this. I have to change my screen here.
That's okay. You go ahead. I'll explain it to them. So when Heather was showing me the resource library and the different videos came up. So make sure you get familiar with some of those videos and those tools because they're easy to share from that resource center or resource platform. And Heather showed me today quickly how you can copy the link.
Good morning, everyone.
Sorry. I'm just trying to, there we go. I couldn't find me. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so from here, when we actually, I'm just going to go to a YouTube, well, it's open right there. So if you're on a YouTube video and you want to share it, I'll move it up just a little bit. You see here the word share underneath the video window. So if you click on that one, then you can copy the URL right here. And then once you have it copied, you can go into your email and compose. I'll just put HL here. Okay. You can you send it to yourself if you want, and then you can share it from there. But then you're just going to paste it right in here into your email. That bigger. Okay. So I have it in the email. When you highlight it, okay, you highlight the URL, and down here at the bottom, gotta move this up so I can see the bottom myself. Do you ever get that where the gallery screen, there we are. Down here at the bottom, let's put that up at the top. Okay, you have this little chain link. So that's the hyperlink. That's what's called a hyperlink. And if you click on that, now this is turned blue. And now you can just, you put that right in your email, and you say, here's the, all right, and it's Kendra actually. Okay, so you've got it right there. What you can also do, you can highlight any text, and you want to make that, if somebody wants to click on it, you can make that, and it says what URL should it go to. You've already got it on your clipboard, and you're going to paste it in there. You can test it out if you want, or just say okay. Now in your email, if somebody clicks on video of Kendra, it will take them to that video that was up on the screen that we were going to share. Or they can click on this link, which is the URL. It's the same. Some people will clue in that, oh, as soon as I see a blue text on somebody's email or a Facebook page or anything, then you can just click on it, and it takes you to, it's linked, right? You can also put that link into a messenger text. You can even put it into an SMS text, okay? And then that, however you're used to communicating with your person, you can send them links that way. Okay.
Thank you, Heather.
Close that, stop share.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, so that was a little bit about the back office. What's the next one? Oh, here we go. Another part that I was really excited about was going to the Ideal Business Facebook group. And, you know, I thought there's some pretty amazing stories that Josh had done some mini interviews on some of our leaders in how the business has impacted our life. And I really feel that it's the stories and the real life experiences that will attract people to taking a look at the business. So when you go to the Ideal Business Facebook group, and I'm going to have Heather later show us how to find that, but I just want to show you, there's videos here. Oh, did you want me to do it, Heather? Sorry.
No, that's fine. I can do it. I don't have my Facebook open right now, but I can get one.
That's okay. I'll show them the video. So Joan does an amazing, what I love about these videos, they're not very long. They're 4 to 6 minutes. So Joan, if you meet a nurse or a healthcare practitioners that, you know, they're tired and they want to retire earlier, this is a great story. Okay. And it's very short, to the point. It's an interview. I'll just maybe play like not even just
My name is Joan Poon. I'm from Mississauga, Ontario, which is about 30 minutes from Toronto. I live here with my husband. We have 2 grown kids. My daughter, Kristen, is 39, and my son, Jason, is 33. And we have 2 beautiful grandkids. Harley is almost 4, and Wyatt is 20 months old. I'm a retired registered nurse, and I worked in the high-risk pregnancy unit for about 28 years. When I was introduced to Neolife 26 years ago, I had just finished treatments for breast cancer. I had surgery and I had chemo, and I started going to health food stores, naturopaths, trying to find something that would help me. Unfortunately, I met my colleague, Marielle Vandenbrink, who shared Neolife with me. And when I saw the program, I was impressed because of the science behind it. Being a nurse, I wanted products that were evidence-based. So I started on some of the products.
So we all know Joan's story, but I just wanted to give you a heads up that this is a powerful little interview, because her journey starts with the products and then how she was able to leave her retire early from nursing. So this is a great story to share with somebody when you're out in the field. And this is like the first step to introducing them to the business. Okay. And then you can invite them to the next step. And that's what I'm going to share with you a little bit later. So it's the stories I feel that are
So
pretty important. Mary Ellen's story, my goodness, again, about a 6-minute interview that they did. And her story is beautiful too, because she was stressed. She was tired. She was working as a law clerk, and, she wanted to be home with her boys. And it was interesting how she shared her story and the impact the income has made in her life and in her journey. So these are stories, again, that you can share, and they're on YouTube in that link, and you can share them just like Heather showed, where you click on the link and send it. And then there's Dr. Amanda Smith. So if you end up ever talking to a pharmacist or somebody in the healthcare field, again, her story is incredible, because it talks about just the view from a pharmacist's point of view. So again, just those stories, those personal stories, and hearing them. And then my story, the time freedom of wanting to be home with my boys and leaving my police career, my husband leaving his police career. So again, whatever story you feel will resonate with you and your prospect, these are just another tool, just a great story for you to share. And then former nursing Rebecca Williams has a beautiful story on how she didn't go back to school because of building her Neolife. I'm not saying, that people shouldn't go back to school, but it wasn't her passion. She wanted more out of life. She wanted to have that freedom, the flexibility, and be a stay-at-home mom and start a family. So beautiful stories. So these are, again, stories that you can share. And then when you listen to Denise's story, homeschool mom of 11 kids, beautiful story. So again, just these are the stories and tools, again, that you can use to share those beautiful opportunities. So Heather, can you show us where
Facebook? I have the Facebook page, and I can show you very quickly where
Awesome.
these are.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the Facebook page, the Ideal Business Neolife. I'll move that over to scroll down again. And in the guides, I just went into guides here. There's various guides. The opportunity, corporate leadership is guide 2, 3 is compensation plan. And here we have the interviews with Neolife promoters. And there's 33 plus 1 of 5, 38 interviews here. And you can see where they have actually, with the name, there's Jones right there, nurse and cancer survivor, mother of 11 for Janice. And so it gives you an idea what their occupation is and where it might fit with the person that you're talking to. So, and again, they're not very long. So there's not various people, a lot of them you will see and hear if you go to Impact Summit. So that's where you find them. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you. So I think, Heather, you were saying how, in the beginning, there's different ways and different stages in building those relationships. And when you're communicating and talking with people, then you want them to give them the bigger picture, the grander picture. Give them more information. They're feeling good about it. They're like, oh my gosh, I love that story. Where do I fit in? I want to know more, right? So I really feel it's important to that journey of building that trust, building that relationship. Shelley does an amazing job giving you an overview on the business presentation, going into the needs, why Neolife, right? And then the income at the end. Another great tool that's on YouTube. If you don't have it, we can send it to you. It was in the Messenger, in our Neolife Messenger group. And again, another great tool sharing the income opportunity. And then we have Jamie Summers' US version, the more like an American style. Because I know many of us have US distributors, and Frances, with Liz living in the States, she might use this tool for her potential promoters in the US. So we have these two amazing tools to introduce people to the income opportunity. Alan Blaine also does a great one on impact sorry, I always forget. It's a tongue twister.
Income with impact.
Income with impact. And again, get familiar with these tools because it depends on the person that you're talking to, depends on the prospect. Find out more about them. You know, you'll know their personality and you will decide and make that decision as to what you feel will be a better tool for them to look at the income opportunity. I think, Heather, you mentioned something about Alan's that was more for business men or people coming from a business environment, correct?
Right. I would think, you know, if I have somebody who's in the rat race, they're maybe making a good income. So it's not like they need the money, but they don't have the kind of life they want. They might say, they might be talking about it all the times that they're missing their kids' baseball games, or, you know, they'd love to be able to spend more time with their family. I mean, I met a teacher just over the summer, and she wants to be able to stay home. She's got toddlers now. She said, oh my gosh, I just wish that I could even just work part-time. It's just, you know, I want to have more time with my family. So it depends on, you know, what your prospect is looking for. What do they want? What's their desire? So you just help them make the choice that's the best for them.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Heather. So those are the different tools that we use, and we're going to open it up to any maybe questions or maybe clarify some of the stuff that we shared with you here this evening. Is there anything at all, especially some of our newer promoters that are looking at this for the first time and sharing Neolife with some new people? Any questions or anything that you'd like us to clarify on what we've shared this evening?
Hi, Nada. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Nada. So I was noticing that the app that's called Team Neolife,
Uh-huh.
you can also access the videos there.
Yes.
And other information too, which I think is really handy. But I'm not sure if, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if we got an email saying that that's no longer
Yes.
going to be.
So that Team Neolife app will no longer be available until November, but they are going to be using another platform. We don't know what. Stephen was saying it's going to be better. I'm really excited about that because there have been some issues with the app. There's been some glitches and I've had some challenges with it, but I just kind of dealt with the challenges. So, but don't worry, but those videos will still be available in that resource center that Heather showed you. So the videos aren't going away. It's just a different way of accessing them for now, using your back office until they develop a new app for us or launch a new app with us. Okay. A lot of these videos too, the YouTube videos, I don't know if you guys, I like to have them handy on my phone. So I will actually copy and paste the YouTube links and text them to myself or send them in Messenger. So they're handy so that if I meet, especially if I'm not going to be home for the day and I want to send it to them while I'm out and about, then I'll just copy and paste and send it to them in a text or in Messenger. So that's another way. So if there's some of these links that you like, then I would recommend that's a faster way. Unless you want to wait till you get home, then you can definitely access them on your computer the way we're doing this evening. So just a couple of different tips, especially if you're busy.
Yes. Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Yes, and we didn't spend any time really showing any product videos, but there's a multitude of product videos. Go to the product launches. It's all in the back office, and many, many great videos in the Neolife TV YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, neolifetv.com. So I showed that in the first, let me just bring that up in the first slide. If you go to neolifetv.com, it's right here. Hang on. So it's when you type neolifetv.com, do you see that? It'll send you to this link, this youtube.com/neolifeclub. And when you go to that link, all your videos are there. Okay, Neolife T, it's a YouTube channel that Neolife has created. Has anybody not seen that YouTube link? The neolifetv.com. That's where all your videos are on YouTube. Okay, Cindy, your hand is up.
Yes, I just wanted to ask that email that Gina was just talking about. Was that fairly recent?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm not getting, so I'm just texting or I'm just sending a message to Sherry because I am not getting any of the emails from Neolife. So
Okay. Yeah, they've been announcing it too on, actually it's been a few weeks now that they announced it as well. So we've been talking about it on some of our calls. So Cindy, I know you haven't been around, you've been traveling too. So yeah, so they are discontinuing the Team Neolife app because of some of the glitches, and they're looking at a better platform coming up in hopefully by November, December is what they're looking at. Okay, and when your hand is up.
It is. So I was going to ask about that better platform. I thought that our home base by Neolife under slack.com, I thought that was going to be our new platform.
It is a new platform. I just don't know what they're going to do for the product videos. I don't know when. It hasn't been announced, so we're going to assume
okay.
that it might be. They just haven't told us what tool they're going to be using and how. If it is a new tool, it'll probably connected somehow, I think, to Homebase, because they're really trying to keep everything in one spot.
In one place, right?
Yeah, okay. That's my feeling. I just don't know how. So because I'm not a techie girl.
The way I see it is the Team Neolife app is for communicating outward, out to new people we want to bring in as customers, members, promoters. It's outward, whereas Slack right now, Homebase, is really the inside communication, the communication within the community, right? From us within the community, but corporate to us within the community. So right now, we don't use Slack, for example, to send a video immediately to a new prospect or a new customer, because that's outside of Slack.
I just thought that there are videos there already, and I thought, I haven't tried to do it, so I don't know, but I thought you could copy them and paste them into a
right. That's how you would do it.
You would go to copy and paste it to send someone by messenger or by
so like for example, the 8 daily do's or the Elevate that's in there. Yes. You just go to the video yourself and then share it by doing that, copy and paste, and you're taking it outside of Homebase.
So I just want all the videos to be there, so they're all there.
Well, we'll find out more as all this new stuff unrolls. But right now, we're just trying to help you understand how you can share now, and to keep it simple, and the tools that we're using that are working. And I having that conversation with Heather today, it's really about having conversations. Sometimes just sending stuff to people. I've noticed that over the last few months, I got all excited about these tools and videos, but I was getting more success and more signups with the people that I had conversations with. So don't hide behind sending somebody links and videos, and make sure you try to have that conversation. Okay. So important. I'm having way better success. And sometimes it's hard because not everybody is ready to pick up the phone. But I ask them, say, listen, I'd love to just have a 2-minute chat with you. When's a good time for us to have a quick call? Then I have that call, have that chat. I say, you know what, I'm going to send you a video, and I'm talking to them on the phone. If I send it to you, will you watch it? And then they're like, yeah, no. Just see what I mean? They got to hear your voice. They got to feel the emotion. People get started because of the feeling and the emotion and the relationship that they're building with you. Okay.
Can you just
Shelley and then Margaret?
And maybe both of you, Nat and Heather, can just comment on the differences of what you prefer between, tagging on to Nata what you were saying, doing a regular text that you might send somebody versus doing a voice text.
Yeah.
How would you compare using those, both of you?
again, I'm doing more voice texts now, especially when I'm following up with potential customers, because when they hear your voice, I find that when you phone people and leave a message on your phone, like on a recording, I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll go 2 or 3 days. I go, oh shoot, I got to check my messages on my phone, because very rarely do people leave messages anymore on the phone. But sometimes there's messages. I thought, oh shoot, I got to check my messages. But I'll read a text right away, or if there's a voice text, I'll listen to it right away. So I feel that the voice text is really, really beneficial. Thank you, Shelley, for reminding me on that. So I do use that as a tool a lot, especially when you're following up and confirming. I left a few voice texts today with some guests that I invited on our meeting for tonight, saying, hey, I'm looking forward to you jumping on today, right? So hopefully they'll hear my voice and think, oh, I don't want to let her down, right? Gotta come on tonight.
I think it really is a personal thing. You know, sometimes I see a voice text and I don't listen to it. I'll just scan a quick text. I read, so it's the reading that gets me.
Okay.
And if I'm going to send a text or something, then it's really important that you confirm with the person that they got it. Or right up front, I'll say, you know, there's so many different ways to communicate. What's your favorite way? What's the best way for me to get a message to you? Okay, just ask. I think it's really important, because then they realize that they're important to you, right? I want to be able to get messages. I want them to hear me, and I want to be able to get messages from them. So what's our best way? We're inundated with messages all over the place, right? Sometimes you can't remember, how was I communicating with that person? So just keep it light, make it a joke. But, you know, absolutely, Shelley, there's different ways to communicate. You got to find a way.
A great point. Thank you, Shelley.
Well,
Yeah,
I know when you guys were talking, there was so many ways Nada said you can show the products, right? By, you know, the sampling, the spa nights, the sip and learn, etc. Right? So I'm having a vendor's booth at work, but I don't know where to start, because I'm thinking, what am I showing? Should I use like one product from there to start? Because this is the first time I'm going to do it, right?
And are you doing it by yourself, or is Joan helping you?
Well, I have to talk to Joan about it. I guess I didn't talk to Joan about it.
Don't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
That's my number one. You need a team there to help you. Okay, so that'll be number one. So talk to Joan, myself.
Okay.
I'll give you some points and tips on how to do it. Don't do it by yourself. Your first one, you need somebody there with you to show you.
All right.
Yeah,
because
that's how you learn.
know, gotcha. Okay, so I'll talk to Joan about that, because it's really a good opportunity for me to show, right? Show and tell, right?
It is.
Yeah.
I've done great shows like that at people's works. You know who Sean King? I did that with her about 5 years ago, and she still has customers from her work employee. It was like a health fair day that they had at work. And if they're having that at your work, that's amazing, because you've already built relationship and trust with those people that you work with. Yeah. Fantastic.
Okay,
great opportunity.
Okay, I'll talk to Joan about that. Yeah, great. Thanks for that. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. And thanks, Heather, for showing about, you know, the copy and the paste and how you put it on. That was great. Visually, very great. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. Two questions, actually. So the default then in terms of videos and all that is neolifetv.com, right? That's the default. That's one question. And the other one, Shelley, you did an excellent job with that, again, with that presentation. So are we, because you said there's a few changes, can we share that now, or do we have to wait a little bit more?
No, share the one that's there now. Just say that there were some pricing changes, so some of the numbers are just a little off.
Okay.
Actually, they make more. When I looked back, it was 450 versus 441. So, you know, but yeah, just let them know that there's a little bit difference just in the pricing, because there were some changes in that.
Yeah, I think that's very well done. Your tone, your speed, your content was excellent. So thank you, Shelley, that I know it took a lot of work. I know you were working on it before. So thanks very much.
Awesome. And I think, Shelley, if you say 500, I think 540, 535, if they hear 500, people get excited. So we'll use that as a tool until we get the new, because like I said, I think it's just hearing the amount of money that they can generate is amazing. Oh, do we lose Shelley? We lost. Oh no, there you are. You moved. Awesome. Okay, we have just a few more minutes before we sign off. And we answer all your questions okay? Was it helpful? I think I learned a lot tonight too myself. Heather was an amazing.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you.
And we will see you in about 7 or 8 minutes on the other side. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you, Heather.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
You got the recording stopped.
Bye.